So I have a project set up for Next.js 14. We will start learning Next.js 14. So now I have installed a app router for this project. First concept is routing. We will use the routes inside Next.js. For now, I will just remove everything and start the development server. Started. Okay, it has started the server. Let me remove this code of this div. Let's move all these divs. So we have our home. All right. Also remove the image for now. So this is the page.js. So inside app, to get to a route, we will use page.js. Inside this, we will create a component like this, and we have this styles file module.css. So for now, just also remove all the CSS from this. We will use our own CSS. First, give it a padding of 1 rem. That's good. Right. So after that, let's create a new route inside it. To create a route, suppose we want to create a dashboard page. We will create a dashboard folder, then inside it we will always create a page.js file. You have to always create the page.js file for this to create the route. All right, so inside this I will write a very simple React component. So dashboard. So inside this you can just put the route here, dashboard. Right, so we have this dashboard here. So if you want to go even deeper, then we have to create another folder like dashboard. Suppose you want settings. Suppose you have a records page. Inside this you can create records folder. Then inside this you have to always create a page.js file. For now I will just copy this dashboard component and just change it to records. So now if I go to dashboard slash records, it will give me records. So this is a nested route. All right, so we have created a simple page, then nested route page. After that, now what is the next thing we can do? We define the routes, pages and layouts. pages you need to route. You can define pages by exporting component from page.js. We have already done that using nested folders to define a route. We have already done that also. Like page.js will be at this path, root path, and dashboard will be inside this slash dashboard path. For now, I will change this to JavaScript. We can use any extension we want, so that's not a problem for this. So like, even if I write page.jsx, it will still work, right? This is important. Pages are server components by default, but it can be set to client component. So every component is actually a server component. To very simply check that how this is server component, if you console.log just write server component. Okay, so if you check here, in the console, if you just refresh it, it is not showing in the console in the browser. So that means it's not in the client side. So if you open your terminal, the console for the server component is already comes in terminal. So if you refresh this, so you can see it is refreshing in the terminal. So that means it is the server component, right? So after that, layout is a UI that's shared between multiple pages. Navigation layouts preserve state, remain interactive, and do not re-render. Okay, this will do not re-render. Layouts can also be nested. You can define a layout by default exporting diagram from a layout.js. So inside this is our layout. How it's looking. Okay, so this is our main layout. It is inside HTML body, class name, and global CSS is applied here. Let's also see global CSS. In the root there are some foreground RGB, background start RGB, and RGB. There are some media, HTML body. This is a global CSS. The component should accept a children prop that will populate. So suppose we want to define a layout for dashboard. We have to always use the layout.js for this. It will be page or a nested layout. Topmost is called root layout. This required layout is shared across all pages in application. Root layout must contain HTML body. That is the already a thing here. they already have a HTML and body here. Okay. Any route segment can optionally define its own layout. Okay, just create a, for now, let's create a layout.js. Okay, first we have to use a React component. Let's use a React component here. So here, dashboard layout. So in this, we will return a component like suppose just write a simple main here, and it is also exposing a children prop. Let's write inside this children. So we are in the dashboard. Let's also create a module file, css module.css, and let's write a main class here. Inside this, let's give a padding of 1 rem. And let's see, we want another background color in this page. Let's gray, change it a little bit. Now in this, import styles from styles.module.css. Then we will use this class name, styles.main. Okay, so this layout is applied, wait a minute, to dashboard, right? If I give a height of 100 vh, it will take the whole page, right? So this is our dashboard. Let's make it a little bit more darker. Okay. Okay, so these are the layouts. Layouts are also server components. Okay, layouts can fetch data. Okay, right. That's a new thing. layouts don't have access to route segment itself. Layout will wrap the page. Layout will be the upper component for page.js. So like layout, this children is actually page.js. This whole thing is coming in this children and then rendering here. If I just comment this, dashboard is also gets comment. Okay. This is I have already applied nested layout. This is actually a nested layout, right? The main layout is this. Where is it? This is the main layout. This is the nested layout of dashboard. Let me just, okay, this is good. That was just too much zoomed out. So templates are also like layouts, but they will refresh, remounted, DOM element recreated, state is not preserved. So that's not very good. So we will skip this template thing for now. This is what is a built-in SEO support. This is a static metadata. Okay, this is you can define a metadata. Just static metadata. Okay, export metadata object from layer.js or static page file. You can define metadata at the top of the page. That's great. Generate metadata function. Fetch metadata that requires dynamic values. Okay, suppose we have some blogs, right? Okay, this is to generate a route parameter, fetch data. Okay, option is assign extend parent metadata. Okay, these are only supported in server components, right? So let's create simple metadata. So okay, this is a metadata title description, right? So suppose in a dashboard I can also create a metadata. So will this replace the root metadata? Cool. So it is replacing this metadata. That's amazing. this is a dashboard. This is a dashboard, right? If I hover on this, so where is this is dashboard? Okay, what are the options? Metadata object. What are the parameters? Independent functions following props returns title. It has title, it has wait title, it has default, it has description. Okay, the basic fields are what are these? Oh, these are meta tags for increased SEO performance. Yes, so this is really good. Great work by Next.js team, the Versal team. These Robert files. Index files follow no cache Googlebot. Wow, there's so many things to learn from this. This is the IP for generate metadata. Cool. So this will take a lot of time, so I will skip that for now. Pages and layouts. After that we will come to linking. So linking very simple. So in page.js, we have to first import link from next link, right? So inside this link, I can define some route for this. I have to first change the route to the root route. Okay. And you're expecting href. For now I will use the dashboard. Link, right? Okay, when you click on this, it will go to dashboard page. Again, we can check it is going to dashboard page. So because we have given this route path in href, so that is how we using the link component. It extends HTML component, so we can even style these A tags. Okay, so A tags should be in the global.css because we cannot use this text decoration. Let's change their color a little bit so we can know they are links. What could be the right color? I don't know what could be the right color for. Hmm. Okay, this is the link. Okay, so I've changed the color of link. Hmm. Okay, prompt to communicate is important. It's a primary way to route between in Next.js between different pages. This is the main way. There are optional props you can use with the link. Okay, new dynamic segments. This is if you want some like show the posts, and you can just choose the map method to map all the items, right? Okay, path name. You can use path name to actually check what page it is, and depending upon that, you can change the class name, right? When you have a sidebar. Hmm. Okay, now let's create a sidebar here. Okay, we will start by creating. Hmm. This will be our dashboard, right? So inside the main, I will give it a display of flex, right? And then column gap of 1 rem, right? Hmm. So what I want to make another uh, component for it. In the React, it is very easy to make like the components I can import from here, but in the Next.js we cannot do that, right? So how I can do that? Okay, just create a sidebar. Let's try it. Page.js. Okay. Sidebar. I've created a sidebar, but how can I put it in the main? Hmm. How can I put it here? So I have to use layout for that. Right, I have to use layout for that. Hmm. Can I? Okay, so I've created a sidebar. Then how can I put the sidebar here? Should I ask Bart? How can I do this? Can I do this? Let's ask the Bart. Hmm. Choosing a shared layout. Okay, this is saying me this is the most common to create side. Next, first create a layout component inside and store your page content. Component wrap your component. Shared layout. Hmm. Okay. So if I so this is how we can create the sidebar. Okay, right. So that means I don't need to create an extra component, or I can say route for this. I can delete this, right? Also don't need this sidebar here. Okay, dashboard. Enter dot class name. So can I wrap this? If I style it, can I use styles? Hmm. Okay, I can use styles. So let's create a sidebar class in the main module CSS file. Give it a background color of gray. Right, inside this I will import from. I can also write styles here, but using this I always use this convention of writing the underscore in the CSS module files. So let me give it a class name of dot sidebar. Cool, our sidebar is kind of ready. Do I need to give it a height of 100 VH? Okay, our sidebar is ready. So sidebar is ready. So what I can do now? That's a problem with this approach. I want to create links actually here. Uh, import link from next link. So wait a minute. I can use the link here. Let's create a home first. Okay. Then href home. Now I will give a path for dashboard. If I click on dashboard, it's going to dashboard. We have a layout for dashboard. Okay. Dashboard. Okay, we have used the dashboard layout. I don't need that. Right. So you also need to change the anchor tag in the global.css. Where is it? Color inherit. Now inside this layout page.css sidebar, it needs to be a little bit darker. Let's make it a blue. Okay, this is cool. And now I have to give it a display of flex direction. Column. Right. Then padding of 2 rem. 2 rem from top and bottom and 1 rem from left and right. Right, it can be 0.5. Right, then we have a row gap of 1 rem. Cool. I can also use anchor hover class. What happened? Okay. But this is not I have to remove the background color. It's not looking very good. Okay, this is looking actually good, right? I have not made a home component. Also made that, right? Home. You can use the same dashboard. Same thing from dashboard and paste it here. Just change every occurrence here. Change all occurrences. Then sorry, home, right? So we have also now route for home. If I go to home, it's going to home. It's going to dashboard. So our sidebar is working now. That's great. Didn't expected that. So we have also used this linking and navigating. I have not used this use router hook. You can also use this, but it will work only in client components. It can only be used inside client components, right? So client component is created when you use client string at the top of your page.js file. So then it will be converted to client component. Right, route groups. What are route groups? You can mark a folder as route group to prevent the folder from being included in route's URL path. Okay. Logically without affecting URL path structure. Right. Right. The folders from parentheses will be omitted from URL. Suppose you want to create some like folder. By convention, every folder is a route. You have to put some component inside this. So if I do not want a folder to be a route, I can simply use some like data, right? You can put some like store data.json file inside this, so that will be just amazing, right? You can enter some JSON data in this and that will be just great, right? Product laptops, right? So you can actually store some other things inside this. So this will not come into the URL structure of Next.js. So you can actually make some another folders which are not the URL paths. That's another thing of route groups, right? Okay. So next comes our dynamic routes. When you do not know the exact name, exact segment name ahead of time, you can use dynamic segments. They're used with ID or slug. So dynamic routes is used for uh, you want the address of like name for your on blocks, right? So that's when you can use dynamic routes. Then after that, loading UI and streaming. So to create loading UI, it is saying we have to create a loading.js file inside our folder, and it will wrap this page.js file, right? So what it be like, let's see. These are like fallback UIs or the skeletons like this that will be shown when some data is loading, like they are using React suspense under the hood. We will use loading here and just write something like loading. Okay, so this is inside home. Let's click on this. Okay, this is let's open the local host inside another tab. Click on okay, it's loading now. You can see for a very split second it has shown loading. Let me go to another tab, close this, right? Okay, this is loading. So this is the loading state for your component. Right. So another thing is streaming with suspense. In addition to loading, you can use manually create suspense boundaries for your own UI components. Suspense for both Node.js and Edge runtimes. So it's using server-side rendering, right? When you React header, you make interactive. Fetch the data, render HTML on server, then loading code on client. Okay, then hydrating. So these are very important terms for SEO, like time to first byte. When the first JavaScript code is loaded, first content will paint. When the first content is actually painted, time to interact. When you actually interact, the JavaScript is fully downloaded in your page, then you can interact with it. Cool, this is just a server-side rendering thing. Okay, head tags. They will not include the response without a head tag. This is very important for SEO, since streaming is server-side and rendered does not impact SEO. Cool. So these are all the topics we have covered for now. Then there are error handling, parallel routes, intercepting routes, route handlers, then data fetching. After that, rendering, server components, client components, caching. Then of course styling, different way of styling, optimization. Okay, so there is so much to learn for this, right? Data fetching is very big topic, important topic. I will cover it tomorrow. So until that, thank you